All right, guys, how's it going? We're live in Portland, Oregon. Urb Thrasher here with NORML Rocks, and we are going to rock tonight. We have a great show going. We have Valient Thorr in town tonight, and we're sitting here with Valient himself, lead singer of the band. How's it going, Valient?
Alois, man.
Right on, man. Good to see you guys, man.
Glad to be here.
Thanks for coming to Portland, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, we just flew into town. Just made it happen.
Yeah, the last time I saw you guys, you were here in Portland, and you were on the Motorhead and Clutch tour. How'd that go?
That was awesome. That was, that was like a really big tour for us. Like every single show sold out, and it's always good to get to see both of those bands, especially touring with legends like Motorhead. It was a crazy tour too, because it was like they've been touring for a whole year, and they started it at their 30th anniversary, so it went on into their 31st anniversary as a band. It was Clutch's 20th anniversary, and it was our 10th anniversary.
Oh, wow.
Back in May, and so we all had like anniversaries, and we had a record that came out last year at the end of the year, and so it was a lot of people's new experience with that. And Clutch just had a new record, and Motorhead had a new record and a new Lemmy DVD, so everything was firing. All of it was good, man. It was a great tour.
That's outstanding. You got to get on stage with Lemmy too, didn't you?
Yeah, I got to sing with him. Actually, it was funny because I don't think I even told people about it last tour, but I did it more on the tour before that. I did it like 2 or 3 times this time.
Right.
It was always cool to sing. I always sing Killed by Death with him.
Right on.
And yeah, I got to do it on my birthday. Right after we left here, we did Seattle and Vancouver, and then we went over to Calgary, and I did it on my birthday in Calgary, so I thought that was pretty radical.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome.
The dudes fucking pied me in the face right before I went on, and I had fucking cream pie all over my face, but it was still badass.
It's all in good fun. If it had been at a normal party, it'd been a medicated pie.
Oh yeah.
Right on. So
nice.
Then you guys left and you went on a European tour. How was that?
That was our best tour our biggest tour we've probably ever been on, as far as for us. I mean, we do really well over in Europe, and rock and roll never went away over there. So we've been getting bigger and badder consistently.
That's
I like
great.
to say, I've said it before, it took us about half the time over there to get twice as big as we are here in the States.
Yep.
And, that's no stretch. It's just we got lucky. We played with insane bands over there whose fans just always come out and, like, make it their holiday or their vacation. And they, so we played a lot of really crazy festivals, finished in Madrid and played Mastodon and Iron Maiden and Uriah Heep and Twisted Sister. It was just insane. I think we played in front of about 25,000 people, which sounds like nothing compared to like 40,000 that Maiden played in front of, but still, you're looking out there going, holy shit, man.
Yeah,
it was cool.
No, that's awesome. Well, you guys, you must be considered pretty much homeless, because you guys are always on tour, it seems like. I keep up with you a little bit, and you guys are always rocking somewhere.
Yeah, I've been homeless for 6 years. Too long is what I like to say. I feel like we're trying to figure out little situations now, because you had to do it that way for a while, but we still, and it's not like we make enough money really to afford rent anyway, but everybody's trying to figure it out. Most everybody has it figured out except for me, like get a little place to go home to. I've just been going on weird trips in our time off, but I'm getting beat up, man. I need to take care of myself, and therefore I need a place.
You gotta do that, dude. Yeah. It's important, I know that, but the music industry is a fickle little thing. I've kept up with some of your tweets, and I know that you've got an opinion about it and stuff. So do you feel like the music industry's getting better, or is it still just fucked right now?
Well, it's definitely different. I don't know if you could sit here and bitch and say it's fucked. It's never going to be the way it was, just with the technology that we have. People aren't going to go. It's if I just take it away and don't talk about, let's talk about the movie industry. If you look at the movie industry, not as many people go out and buy DVDs. The people who make movies and made all that money on VHS cassettes and DVDs for so long,
yeah.
They want to say they're losing their ass because people are downloading just like they're downloading songs. People are downloading movies. That's no lie, but they're not downloading as much as people are using like Netflix, which would be comparable to Spotify, or there's a couple other song things out there where you pay a little bit a month and you can listen to anything. It kind of covered over the, hey, let's download it all for free, so they made these legitimate ones, and they give a little bit to the movie companies, and they give a little bit to the artists or the labels or whatever. But with these things, it's still a big cut to what it always was for people. So, you know, the people in the music industry, you're going to find smaller bands fucking off. You know, you find like MySpace, back when MySpace was at its peak, there was probably every single dude you knew had a band. There's thousands. There was like 1 million bands, like not even figuratively speaking, literally. There was like over 1 million bands on MySpace. How many of those bands do you think exist now that they can't even afford gas to get 2 towns over to check out, you know? And then it not only affects smaller bands, but it affects touring bands as well, because, you know, they can't afford not only gas, but they can't afford to make a record. They can't afford to pay a dude to make a record for them because they can't even pay it off. They can't even get enough. So that's why you have campaigns like Kickstarter. Well, we've never done a Kickstarter program. I remember hearing a while back, for example, the band CKY, they got onto a major label and then they got off a major label, and I remember that they said, we're going to make our album, but we're going to sell it first. So they sold enough records to their fans online to... Now, I'm pretty sure this is how it went down. I don't want to, you know, like, I don't know those guys. You know, I've met them, and I've, you know, we're pretty good. You know, I don't want to say I'm best friends with them. I don't know exactly how it went down, but I think the basic idea was sell it to their fans, and then once they sold enough of them, they went in, they recorded it, paid it off, and then they sent those to those fans, and they all, like, basically bought into the record, you know? Mm-hmm. And that's a very smart way to do it. You know, then Kickstarter kind of came around, and that's how that's how younger bands are raising money for their stuff, you know. But I feel like it's like nobody wants to beg everybody, you know. You have pride in what you do, you know. Like, we're fucking professionals, and it's like I can't even make enough money to you know. It's not even, I can't even make enough money to. You don't want to be the guy who goes, well, you know, the honest thing is I'm sick of having to worry about eating ramen. You know, I can't take my friend out because I don't know if I can afford enough ramen for the week, much less afford an apartment or pay off any kind of bills anybody has, like college loans or fucking insurance. Like, nobody has insurance, you know, nobody has health insurance. How can they afford to pay their... So it takes a cut from the biggest bands to the smallest bands. Downloading is certainly, you know, I don't think it's killed the record industry because people are buying more vinyl than anything, but you have to, it's like... It's one of those fringe things now. It's like when, I don't know, when you were younger, when everybody started collecting comic books, and then all of a sudden it got too much and people were like, this is never going to be worth anything. They thought they were going to make something of it, so they went away. So now everybody just downloads stuff and they think they don't need it. It's not tangible in their hands. They don't care about it. Yeah. But there are the ones that do. And how do we make it to where, you know, singles or something becomes special, something new, always a new t-shirt, always something new for the fans, so that you can afford to keep doing what you're doing and making people happy, or making the best product or the best thing that you can. It's hell on everybody. I can't lie. But I like to think that you're not going to be deterred. You know, you just got to weather the storm, and hopefully you'll come out on the other end and be one of the ones that said, you know what, I don't do this for money. I would like to be able to afford to do this for a living and not have to fucking dish dog it somewhere. But if I got to suck it up, fucking deliver pizzas or whatever the fuck I gotta do to get this done, I'm gonna do it, because I'm never gonna stop playing rock and roll.
There you go.
I'm never gonna stop saying what I have to say.
That's right.
And that's our forum, you know. If it goes away, then, you know, that's a big freedom that we've lost, you know.
Yeah, no, that's right. That's right on. That's rock and roll right there. And there you go, folks. We hear a lot about downloading stuff, and you've heard it right there from a true artist. So we at NORML, we kind of believe that, you know, there's an assault on cannabis activists out there. There's assault on cannabis. The drug war is awful. Never going to win. Do you feel like that? What do you think about the drug war these days?
Well, it's the drug war was a failed thing from the beginning. You know, Wayne Kramer says it best when you've had this drug war going on for 40 years now, and there's still people in jail getting locked up every day. Then obviously it's not working. You know, they need to retake a look at the laws that are there. You know, each specific substance is different. I don't want to promote any of them. besides marijuana, I don't think anything's wrong with marijuana, but I wouldn't encourage anybody to do any kind of other drugs. But as far as like people getting locked up for it, you can take a look at the programs that people like Wayne Kramer, or even in the old days like Johnny Cash would do, or Merle Haggard. And there's a lot of people locked up for silly, stupid reasons that's costing taxpayers, millions of dollars a year that could be used on things to pay off people, teachers and the people who are losing their jobs right now. We have all these people in jail, and we're trying to house them and feed them when they're, and they're using a lot of the bread that we could be using for other things that people go, why do we have to lay off 190 teachers in this one county, or 5,000 teachers retired so that they didn't have to lose their benefits in Wisconsin this year because their stupid fucking governor Scott Walker came in and tried to take the rights to protest away from the teachers unions and all the unions. And that's something. It's all connected. If you just look at it as one thing, then you split hairs, and it's called wedge politics. It divides. Unfortunately, for people who are trying to stand up for marijuana laws, we get stuck in the category that's wedge politics, where they'll get somebody from a church or somebody who has no fucking idea what they're talking about to preach against it and say it's going to corrupt our kids or whatever. And they do the same with abortion. They do the same thing with Planned Parenthood. They do the same thing with gay marriage. All these things that should be your fucking, in your own home and your own family and your decision that doesn't hurt anybody else. It shouldn't be anybody's fucking business. Not nobody from my community, not nobody from my fucking church, not nobody from my fucking city legislature. If it's not hurting anybody, it's in your own home. Those wedge politics are the things they fucking take away from the real issues that politically we should be focusing on. The things about the environment, the things about job loss, the things about, I don't know. It's heavy, man. It
is. So you guys, you're from Venus, by way of North Carolina now, and so you guys have been all over the place. So do you see differences in cannabis, or in Europe, your East Coast side, West Coast side? What like right now, you're out on the West Coast. Do you feel like, it's different out here now?
I feel like it's just
getting better, period?
I feel like there's good weed everywhere. It's just harder to, like sometimes it's easy over here. You always see it. The laws are loosening up in different places for people who need it, which is a good thing. The people who need it should be able to get it. You see the laws changing, and I mean for medical reasons or whatever, and different things happen from state to state. Who knows what will happen? I think that there's people who will lobby against it for forever away from certain places like North Carolina. I was very surprised in North Carolina when they actually outlawed tobacco in the bars and restaurants, because it was such a tobacco state. It's not anymore since the referendum was overturned, and they now the tobacco companies had to buy a certain amount of tobacco from North Carolina farmers for a long time. That's turned over, and now they can buy it cheaper from Brazil and a couple other, I can't even remember now. I don't want to quote the wrong thing, but they just, it's weird. You never know what will happen. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Now, I understand. So you've actually got your own podcast out there too, Rocknology. Tell our viewers about that and how they can find out about it.
Well, I have a blog. I don't know how to post it on anything else. I think it's going to be posted on ValiantThorr.com, so you might be able to find it there. If you just want to look up Rocknology, or you want to look up Valiant's vlog, it's got 3 G's in it. Valiant's vlog. I mean, even if you spell it wrong on Google, it'll probably come up. It's a podcast. It's like my old radio show that I used to have. It's run like John Peel style. I'll play any kind of stuff. It's probably music that you haven't heard. If you have heard it, it's probably something you'll like. And even if you haven't heard it, it's probably something you'll dig. It's heavy, a lot of heavy rock and roll, weird reggae, weird, underground or old rap stuff.
I saw you had some Pentagram on there.
Yeah, we interviewed Bobby Liebling for the last podcast. I've only done 3 so far, so the 4th one will come out on Monday. It comes out every Monday. Like I said, you can find it on Valiant's vlog, or you can find it, I post it on our Facebook, on Valient Thorr's Facebook, or you can get it off our, if you follow me on Twitter. And but yeah, do the bad movie reviews on there and everything. It's just the weird stuff that I'm into right now when we're off, off the road or whatever.
So I know you guys are always touring, but what's new for Valient Thorr? Are you guys working on a new album, or are you touring just from the last album? What's going on?
This is the tour. This is the end of a year cycle for the last album. Right now we're gonna break for a little bit after this.
Yeah,
we'll play at Bumbershoot tomorrow.
There you go.
And in Seattle, and then we break for a little while. I know everybody's working on a few little things here and there. We have no plans to record right now. I think it's going to be a while before we will record, but I know that I'm looking forward to the writing process. I know that Hayden and I know that everybody has a few little things they've been working on. I've definitely got a few little riffs in my head, so hopefully something new will come up soon. But there's not anything too much planned. We had a couple of things. There's certain things that aren't. If they go down, they'll be out there. People will know about them. But as far as it goes, we're coasting for a little bit. You gotta take time off sometimes to rebuild things and make things bigger and badder. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. Well, you guys have been touring forever, like I said. So yeah, you guys check these guys out. ValiantThorr.com. Check him out on Twitter. He's always up to something and saying something. And is there anything else you guys can tell our viewers, or anything before you go out there and rock, tear the
legalize
stage
it, and I will advertise it.
Right on. All right,
Thank you guys, man.
This is Valient himself, Urb Thrasher, NORML Rocks, Valient Thorr, live in Portland. You guys take care. We'll see you out there.
Peace.
Rock on.